This year, in 2nd grade, Russell is doing well in reading and is on grade level in math. He likes his teacher in class and has lots of friends, as reported by his mother. His teacher has made many accommodations for him, such as allowing him leeway in raising his hand when others are required to do so. His teacher has tried a contract for completing work and tally marks to indicate how many times he was out of his seat, but she indicates that he is still having difficulty completing his work, not calling out in class, and being impulsive in answering questions. Russell is seen as a happy child by both his parents and his school, although he occasionally can be a clown and is sometimes a challenge. In baseball, as reported by his mother, he showed difficulty with concentration and sometimes, quote, stared out in left field. That was an extract from a psychoeducational evaluation written about me on April 22, 1996, when they diagnosed me with attention deficit disorder. Shortly after that evaluation, I began taking Dexedrine to be a better student, to be less disruptive in the classroom and more productive in school. From there on out, medical-grade stimulants played an unmeasurable yet significant role in the development of my cognition, my emotional body, my psychology, and to some extent, the entirety of who I have become. I stopped taking them when I was 12 years old, and I began to care less and less about school until I restarted use with Adderall again when I was 15 to take the SAT test. I took them through high school and brought them to college. My first semester I earned straight A's and then I dropped out. I stopped using them. I went back to college and I started the pills again. I earned a film degree and chose to use my new skill to shoot, direct, and edit a documentary by myself while I rode my bicycle from Florida to California without medication. Then, when I tried to edit the film, I got back on Adderall, and for the next few years, I ricocheted between regular amphetamine use, withdrawal, and returning to the habit. I liked taking Adderall. I felt in control, and it seemed that every time I stopped taking it, my ADD was waiting for me, and honestly, being on them felt so incredible. I felt like I had access to crystal clear, laser-like brain, yet at times, this tendency towed the line towards grandiose narcissism. It ended up being an illusion for me. When I finally stopped for good, I became aware that I had developed a dependence, an addiction, a need for these medications in order to function, and I reckoned with this reality and tried but failed to get back on them. And because of how broken I was without the medication, I blazed a path of healing and growth that turned getting off Adderall into one of the most significant challenges I've ever experienced, because it made me write this book that I am ready to share with you. I've been called to write about the experience of being diagnosed and medicated as a child. I've been called to write about how they left me in a chemical depression with my ability to focus and work in serious disrepair. It was as if I was using a mental prosthetic to function and thrive for over a decade. And what came up, came down. I was wrecked. I had to rebuild myself from scratch. And I did. I encountered people to guide my healing and new habits to develop a functioning attention span in a world that sometimes seemed like a place so unnatural to me that I needed an unnatural substance just to live within it. I don't know who I would have been had I never taken these medications, and I certainly wouldn't have written a book about it, but I did, and it's a decent read. I want us as a culture to have a dialogue about the use of these medications, and I'm only a small part of this conversation, but here I bring my chair to the table. Here is my offering, my story. Hocus Focus, coming of age with ADD and its medicines. Thank you guys so much.